Good evening, Keluarga Malaysia. You're watching News at 10. I'm Brendan Lepore. Making the headlines tonight. Face masks no longer mandatory on planes. And budget to be retabled if not passed before polls call. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa Yaakob congratulated Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on his appointment as Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince previously served as the kingdom's Deputy Prime Minister as well as Defence Minister. In his post on Facebook and Twitter today, Datuk Seri Semasa said Malaysia will continue to strengthen bilateral relations with Saudi Arabia, especially in exploring new partnerships with the kingdom. It was reported today that in a royal decree, the King of Saudi Arabia, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, appointed Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman as the country's new Prime Minister. The Health Ministry, MOH, has announced that the wearing of face masks on board aircraft is no longer compulsory, effective from today. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said this decision was made using a risk-based approach and after taking into consideration that aircraft technology had improved and COVID-19 cases in Malaysia had been brought under better control. However, he said, wearing of face masks is encouraged for individuals with symptoms like fever, cough and flu, and high-risk individuals like senior citizens, people with chronic diseases, those with low immunity, and pregnant women. In a statement today, he said people travelling with high-risk individuals like senior citizens and children are also encouraged to continue wearing face masks on board. Khairi said the relaxation on wearing of face masks in aircraft was in line with health recommendations from countries in the European Union, the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, New Zealand and Singapore. However, the need to wear face masks on board aircraft is still subject to conditions set by countries travellers are visiting. The government made wearing of face masks compulsory beginning 1st August 2020, but on 7 September this year, MOH announced it was no longer mandatory indoors and in public areas. On another note, the Health Ministry, MOH, has received the study report from the Attorney General's Chambers, AGC, regarding the proposal to amend Act 309 of the Penal Code. It involves a moratorium onto the prosecution and conviction of attempted suicide. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the results of the study would be discussed in an engagement session with relevant parties, including the police, as well as the Home Ministry. Through the discussion, MOH will re-evaluate the memorandum before it is brought to the Cabinet meeting.
Sekarang ini kita perlu dapat pandangan daripada pihak polis dan KDN. Pada waktu saya bawa MJM ni nampak macam KDN tak berapa setuju. Jadi kita tengoklah sama ada mereka boleh dipengaruhi untuk menyokong usaha untuk kita dekriminalisasikan cubaan bunuh diri ni. Sebab saya dengar masa mesyuarat tu pun hujah dia tak berapa kukuh sangatlah bagi pihak saya sebagai Menteri Kesihatan.
Under Section 309 of the Penal Code, whoever attempts to commit suicide can be jailed up to 1 year, fined, or both. The tabling of the Supply Budget Bill 2023 or Budget 2023 may need to be retabled in Dewan Rakyat again if the bill has not been approved when Parliament is dissolved to make way for the 15th General Election or GE15. Now this means the newly elected government formed after GE15 would need to restart the whole process of tabling the budget again, according to Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Asa Azizan Harun. He said after the election, the new government needs to do the first reading again because the budget does not bind the next government.
Dia kena bermula pada
dia kena sebab kalau ada pilihan raya maka akan ada satu kerajaan yang baru. Ya. Jadi kerajaan yang baru perlu membuat bacaan pertama semula.
okey, maknanya dia kena bermula semula.
Sebab ini belanjawan. Dia tak bind, dia tak mengikat kerajaan yang berikutnya.
Maknanya bajet itu boleh berubah?
Mesti ya. Dia akan ada bacaan pertama yang baru.
He said this to reporters in Parliament today. Tan Sri Asa said the newly formed government can choose to retable the same draft bill to the House. Budget 2023, which is scheduled to be tabled next Friday, is expected to see its first reading 2 days prior to that. The first reading is mostly seen as just a formality, where only the title of the bill is read out in Dewan Rakyat. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Asa said having a fixed parliamentary term system is a practical move for the country. In terms of saving election costs and preparatory work, the Dewan Rakyat Speaker said the fixed term system would greatly help the Election Commission EC in carrying out its duties. Tan Sri Asa explained that if the EC could determine the exact date when Parliament would be dissolved, the Commission could start making preparations such as booking and renting the necessary premises.
Saya pernah di SPR. Okey. Ini secara praktikal ya, bukan secara politik ya. Secara praktikalnya SPR, saya waktu tu saya lebih suka kalau fixed term. Sebab apa? Sebab bila fixed term, SPR boleh bersedia. Bila tak ada fixed term dan boleh dipanggil apa yang kita kata snap election, maka kita tak boleh prepare. Kita tak tahu bila nak prepare. Kita meaning SPR, bukan Parlimen. SPR tak tahu bila nak prepare. So kita kena teka. Kita kena train. Tapi kalau kita train 90,000 orang pekerja pilihan raya awal sangat dan benda tu tak jadi, maka kena train lagi sekali sebab lupa. Dan kemudiannya yang 90,000 tu pun dia train, waktu dia train tu dia free. Tiba-tiba dipanggil pada tarikh yang dia tak sangka, maka dia dah tak free. Maka saya nak kena cari lagi 40,000, something like that. So very difficult.
And coming up next, International Telecommunication Union vital for improving universal connectivity. The International Telecommunication Union, ITU, has a vital role to play in improving universal connectivity and reducing the digital divide, which demands immediate action. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Adwa Musa said there are almost 3 billion people around the world who did not have the opportunity to get connected. As such, ITU has a critical task to bridge the gap within member countries and inter-regional disparity.
For example, poorer countries or developing countries will be having even more problem as technology advances, because technology also means money, affordability. And unless poorer countries really put their money to invest and to keep pace with technological development, then the people in that particular country will be deprived of the right technology. One is connectivity, but affordability is also important. So I think ITU will have a great challenge to make sure not only all countries get connected, all people have equal access for connectivity. In fact, in my speech,
In an exclusive interview with EchoPoliticsNews.com on the sideline of the ITU Plenipotentiary Conference 2022 in Bucharest, Romania, he said, as far as Malaysia is concerned, connectivity is now becoming part of human rights. In this regard, Tan Sri Adwa said ITU needs to engage with member countries and offer assistance to ensure that developing countries do not get left behind in accessibility and opportunity to get themselves connected. Empowerment of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, is expected to help reinforce the downward trend of national unemployment rate for months to come. According to Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri M. Saravanan, this is in line with the government's vision to achieve 35% skilled labour by 2030.
Kita lihat hari ini perubahan besar di arena antarabangsa di mana pendidikan TVET diutamakan dari segi kebolehpasaran dan peluang-peluang pekerjaan. Malaysia selari dengan pembangunan seluruh dunia untuk memastikan warga Malaysia khususnya melahirkan modal insan kompetitif dalam bidang TVET.
Strong collaborations between industry players and TVET institutions are highly significant in ensuring that supply and demand in the workforce are met. It is to help TVET institutions prepare courses with high technology industries as its core, based on the demands of the market. Datuk Sri Saravanan added that the job market in the future will be more demanding of high-skilled labour, involving creative and critical thinking, as the overall job scope is projected to undergo some changes. A total of 96 flood relief centres, PPS, had been identified to accommodate more than 22,000 flood victims around the federal capital and Putrajaya. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Sri Rina Mohamad Harun said these PPS are ready to be activated in preparation for flood disasters during the North East monsoon MTL season this year.
Kementerian menerusi JKM sentiasa bersiap siaga dalam menghadapi bencana yang berlaku, khususnya ketika monsun timur laut yang berlaku setiap tahun lazimnya bermula pada bulan Oktober sehingga Mac. Demi mengutamakan kesejahteraan penghuni PPS, terutama dalam soal penyediaan makanan, penggunaan makanan bungkusan ditot untuk digunakan di PPS juga kita gunakan sebagai persediaan awal.
The ministry will also be mobilizing 312 officers from the Kuala Lumpur Social Welfare Department JKM, 113 volunteers, as well as 53 individuals from mental support groups. JKM focuses on 4 things, namely protection, food, counselling and registration at the designated PPS. Maybank will fully migrate to a more secured authentication method via Secure to You by June 2023. Now, the changes involve online activities or transactions relating to account opening, fund transfers and payments, as well as changes to personal information and account settings. Currently, Maybank only allows one Secure to You device per account holder or per customer to minimize the possibility of a customer's online banking details being compromised or used by any third party. As an added security measure, Maybank alerts a customer via SMS, push notification and email when Secure to You is registered on the new device. This is in line with the bank's effort to prioritize at all times the safety and security of its customers' funds and online banking transactions. In addition, Maybank said it has provided a dedicated 24/7 hotline for customers to report financial scam incidents. Alternatively, customers can contact the Maybank Customer Care hotline. And in other news, police have crippled a motorcycle theft gang known as Gang Amir, with the arrest of 6 men and the seizure of 6 motorcycles. They also seized a variety of motorcycle components and 4 frames. Central District Police Chief ACP Bae Eng Lai said the team from Central CID launched a series of raids in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor on 20th and 21st September. 6 men were arrested, including 2 buyers aged between 26 and 35. Briefing reporters today, he said during the raids, police also recovered 6 motorcycles and 4 motorcycle frames, which were reported stolen around Selangor and Kuala Lumpur.
Selain itu, beberapa komponen motosikal, 1 unit mesin pemotong besi, 2 unit mesin drill 3 unit mesin grinder dan 2 mesin hacker disyaki digunakan untuk mencuri motosikal turut dirampas dalam serbuan tersebut. Jadi hasil siasatan pihak polis mendapati modus operandi sindiket ini didalangi oleh 4 lelaki warga tempatan yang diketuai oleh seorang suspek yang dikenali sebagai Amir.
He added the bikes were estimated to be worth at least 60,000 ringgit. ACP Best said the syndicate leader, 26-year-old Amir, and his gang targeted Yamaha and Honda motorcycles, which they would either cannibalize for parts or sell it on the black market. The group usually went for motorcycles parked in quiet and isolated areas, of which each bike is believed to be sold for between 2,000 and 5,000 ringgit. ACP Best said the suspects will be handed over to Gombak Police after their remand period ends today, as they have been linked to 4 motorcycle thefts there as well. A former director at the Malacca chapter of the National Anti-Drug Agency, AADK, was fined 3,000 ringgit by the Sessions Court today for accepting 400 ringgit in bribes 4 years ago. Judge Elizabeth Paya 1 also ordered the accused, Muhammad Yusuf Kameh, 55, to serve 6 months in jail if he failed to pay the fine. Muhammad Yusuf had earlier pleaded guilty to the alternative charge of obtaining for himself valuable things involving 400 ringgit without consideration from Budyarif Rahmat, who he knew had a connection with his official function. He committed the offence at the Malacca AADK office on 22nd June 2018. The alternative charge, framed under Section 165 of the Penal Code, carries an imprisonment of up to 2 years or a fine or both upon conviction. Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC prosecution officer Nur Shakila Yaakob appeared for the prosecution, while Muhammad Yusuf was represented by lawyer Datuk Naran Singh. The accused had also claimed trial at the Sessions Court on 18 February when he was charged with 4 counts of allegedly accepting a bribe of 5,900 ringgit for maintenance and supply service for Malacca AADK. The plea to the earlier charges was also made before Judge Elizabeth Paya 1. The accused later paid the fine. And next in sports, SEA Games top pair Tang Jie Yen Wei to get new partners. Stay with us. National mixed doubles player Chen Tang Jie will be paired with a new partner Yap Ling, and they will make their first appearance at the 2022 Australian Open, scheduled for 15 to 20th November. Badminton Association Malaysia BAM doubles coaching director Rasmi Manaki said this had to be done following a serious knee injury suffered by Tang Jie's former partner Pek Yen Wei during a training session 2 weeks ago. In the meantime, the former Indonesian doubles ace said he would try to pair Yen Wei with a new male partner, either Yap Roy King, T. Kai Wun or Man Wei Chong, after she recovers from her injury. At the 31st SEA Games in Hanoi, Vietnam last May, Tan Jie Yen Wei ended Malaysia's 23-year title drought in mixed doubles when they defeated compatriots Hu Pang-ron and Xia Yi-si 15-21, 21-19, 21-13 to clinch the gold medal. Meanwhile, Rexy said he will announce the new coaches to fill the vacancies of men's doubles coach Flandi Limpele and mixed doubles coach Paulus Firman in a week or two. On 1st April, Flandi made a shocking decision to leave BAM when he did not renew his contract after 2 years, and a month later, Paulus, who is now Singapore's doubles head coach, resigned to spend time with his family. That concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, face masks no longer mandatory on planes. Updates at noon comes on tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. Till then, it's lights out. I'm Brenda Paul. Salam keluarga Malaysia and take care.